Hi, my name is Julia, and today we're going to be talking about how brain mechanisms influence learning. Did you know that your brain changes whenever you learn something new? Through neuroscience and research, we can see that brain mechanisms for executive functions, reading, and math can influence a student's learning disabilities. First, we're going to be discussing executive functioning. There are three brain functions that are dependent upon for executive functioning: working memory, which helps to keep and store information; mental flexibility helps us to shift our attention; and self-control, which allows us to set goals and avoid impulsive actions. A child's environment and the condition it is in and the relationships that they have with adults can greatly impact their potential to develop these important skills. Scaffolding, routine, modeling social behavior, and making children receive the support they need can ensure they receive these skills. Next, we're going to talk about brain development. Development begins before birth but still continues to mature throughout life. Individuals' brains do not develop at the same rate as those that are their age. Myelin, fibers in the brain, continue to grow in elementary students. This is important because these fibers transfer information throughout the brain. More fibers grow as the brain matures, and this helps the child learn academically and socially. These skills become more and more natural until the child does not have to think about doing them. How brain development affects reading skills. Children learn language a lot naturally, however, reading is much more unnatural. Learning to read and practicing strengthens synapses and circuits with the brain are built. Different types of print skill level involve different areas of the brain. Skilled reading activates three areas of the brain. The inferior frontal gyrus contributes to understanding of meaning of words. The temporal parietal region is responsible for hearing and processing different words. And the occipital parietal region processes the visual form and letters into sounds. Children with reading disabilities do not show progression in the left temporal parietal area. Reading disability is caused by a deficit in processing phonics, which can cause them to not have the capability to decode words or understand large print vocabulary. Children with reading disabilities also have less activity in the occipital parietal area. They eventually have more activity occurring in the frontal regions, however, though, to make up for the reduced activity in other areas. Now we're going to talk about how brain development affects math skills. Part of the areas responsible for reading in the brain also help with mathematics. There are two areas that are very important to arithmetic performance. The intraparietal sulcus is activated when processing symbolic numbers greatness. The angular gyrus retrieves facts that have already been learned. The pattern of the brain activation varies for those with and without math disabilities. Math disability is the inability to store facts in long-term memory and retrieve them when they are needed. They also show very few connections between the parietal and occipital temporal areas. Once again, through neuroscience and research, we can see that brain mechanisms for executive functions, reading, and math can influence students' learning disabilities. Thank you.